Kanye West, also simply known as Ye, is one of the most prolific rappers of all time, and chances are if you're watching this video, you're familiar with his controversial antics. From claiming George Bush doesn't care about black people on national television to his legendary feud with Taylor Swift, the rapper has always had a less than stellar reputation to some.
You ain't got the answer, Sway.
Kanye.
I've been doing this more than you.
Doing what
You
more
ain't
than
got.
me? Come on, chill out.
You
bro.
ain't got the
Kanye,
answers.
relax.
You ain't got the
Bro,
answers.
Despite this, he's managed to maintain a loyal audience for years, with most continuing to enjoy his music and support his other business ventures. If we were to explain every major incident Kanye has been criticized for, we would be here for an extensive amount of time. Instead, I would like to primarily focus on the business fallout following the antics at the end of 2022, and if it really had a negative impact on his career long term. But before we get to current day, let's give a refresher on the insanity that was Ye a year ago. But before that, a word from our sponsor. I'm sure everyone has a distinct childhood memory of a certain scent that sometimes comes back to them, and with Scentbird, you're able to have your own fragrance that people can remember you with in a weird way. Since colognes can very easily cost you well over $100 per bottle, it can be daunting to try to find the one that's right for you. But Scentbird is a fragrance subscription that lets you choose a new designer fragrance to try every month for just $17. You don't have to invest a lot of money on designer fragrances if you try Scentbird. They offer affordable, flexible subscription plans, and you can also skip or cancel your subscription at any time, making it a hassle-free experience. They have over 600 perfumes and colognes to choose from, with many of them going for up to $500 if you went to the store and bought a full-price bottle. My two favorite colognes that I've been able to try thanks to Scentbird are probably Amber Molecule, which has a very earthy scent. And if I want something that has a bit more of a citrus scent to it, I could try Zaffarano. And if you use my coupon code FromMars at checkout, you will get 55% off at Scentbird. That means it's just a little over $7 for your first month. Available in the USA and Canada. So again, thanks Scentbird for the sponsorship, and I suggest that you check out the links below. It all started in October 2022 when Kanye came under fire from critics for wearing a shirt that said White Lives Matter during a fashion show that took place in Paris, along with conservative talk show host Candace Owens. This phrase in particular has been heavily debated online, with progressive activists claiming it's a dog whistle for racist and bigoted beliefs, with others claiming it's simply a phrase that is just another example of the mainstream media blowing things out of proportion. This is a rapper who's been notorious for pushing the envelope in the past, and this was no exception. But soon he would get a bit carried away, to put it lightly. The ensuing backlash from the shirt caught the attention of many conservative pundits, and most notable among them being Tucker Carlson, who then proceeded to invite Kanye on his show. The rapper was asked several questions about his politics and how he genuinely viewed the world, with one of the main focal points being his religious beliefs.
You know, you might not believe in God, but God believes in you. It's not a battle you can win. It's like, don't jump, Anakin, I have the higher ground kind of situation.
This was all pretty standard, as he had been vocal about his conservative beliefs for years and was obviously just trying to rile up his critics even more. However, this would all change a few days later when Vice revealed numerous segments that were cut out of the full Fox News interview that portrayed Kanye in an entirely new light. This featured multiple incredibly bizarre statements, the most notable of which was his rant on Planned Parenthood, in which he claimed that black people were the real Jews.
Planned Parenthood was made by Margaret Sanger, a known eugenics with the KKK, to control the Jew population. When I say Jew, I mean the 12 lost tribes of Judah, the blood of Christ, who the people known as the race black really are.
This revelation coincided with the rapper having his Instagram account restricted, after he posted a text conversation between him and rapper Sean Combs, where he implied that the Jews were controlling his peers. To be clear, Meta, the company behind Instagram, never actually confirmed the specific reason why he was banned, but to onlookers, it seemed fairly obvious. West then took to Twitter to rant about the situation, targeting Mark Zuckerberg in particular. Elon Musk seemingly co-signed the rapper by replying to one of Ye's tweets, saying he was glad to have him back on the platform after his long hiatus of using it. Unfortunately for Elon, this confidence would soon be proven misplaced. Only a few hours later, Mr. West made a tweet saying that he was going DEFCON 3 on the Jews when he woke up the next day. This resulted in a massive wave of outrage, and Elon himself seemingly stepped in, with Twitter locking the rapper's account for what they perceived as a violent threat against a minority group. Things seemed hopeful after Elon claimed that he had engaged in a productive conversation with Kanye about his comments a couple of days later. Little did anyone know that this was only the tip of the iceberg. Possibly in response to the threat of being banned from social media for good, the rapper and entrepreneur decided it would be in his best interest to purchase Parler, a conservative social media platform. This would prove to be inconsequential in the grand scheme of things, however, as it was eventually announced this purchase wasn't going to happen. In a now infamous episode of the podcast Drink Champs, hosted by rapper Noor, Kanye spoke out about the death of George Floyd, theorizing that he had actually died of a fentanyl overdose, and claimed that he was being censored by the Jewish media.
They hit him with the fentanyl. If you look, the guy's knee wasn't even on his neck like that. Could you even really run this interview? Because Mav didn't run my interview.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They blocked me out. The Jewish media blocked me out.
This resulted in George Floyd's family threatening to sue Kanye for $250 million, though it's unknown if this lawsuit ever went anywhere, primarily because the defamation suit is impossible if the person being defamed is, dead. Nor would apologize for allowing these statements to be made on a show, with the episode in question being taken down, though archives of it remain on YouTube. Photos also began surfacing of a white supremacist group holding a banner stating Kanye is right about the Jews. Celebrities began to tweet about their disapproval of Kanye's behavior as well. Even Kim Kardashian, his ex-wife, joined in, making a tweet denouncing hate speech and anti-Semitism. It was also announced that Ye had officially been dropped by his creative agency, but they would not be the only people to part ways with him.
I could say anti-Semitic things and Adidas can't drop me. Now what? Now what?
The biggest financial loss the now disgraced rapper faced was when Adidas officially ended their business partnership. Their venture with Kanye and his famous Yeezy shoe line was incredibly profitable. Still, the public pressure to drop him had been mounting for quite some time, with both parties standing to lose billions of dollars. Numerous other companies also severed ties, including Balenciaga and Foot Locker, among others. Even his own law firm felt the need to make a public statement distancing themselves, which is confusing considering it's doubtful the vast majority of onlookers even knew of their association with him. But possibly the one thing hurt most by Kanye was the temporary closure of his own private school, with the principal saying that they would not be finishing out the school year, with their sports team being barred from entering competitions. Around this time, Kanye also finally apologized to the family of George Floyd for his previous statements, saying, "I know how it feels to have a knee on my neck now." He would also claim that a doctor had misdiagnosed his mental condition and had tried to kill him with medication.
Drove me to a point of exhaustion, which was misdiagnosed by I'm not going to say what race, what people, doctor, and what hospital, and what media it went to. We know I can't say that. It was a Jewish doctor.
These statements were backed up by text messages sent to him by his celebrity trainer Harley Pasternak, which the rapper had just released. These messages are somehow just as strange as anything Kanye had said up until this point, with Harley threatening to have doctors medicate the crap out of him and send him back to Zombieland. It was later discovered that Harley in the early stages of his career had worked for the Canadian Department of Defense, which at one point in their history had been involved with the funding of the MKUltra project, which fueled further conspiracy theories among the rapper's fanbase. Yet even with all this, Kanye somehow managed to make his situation worse when it was revealed controversial right-wing activist Milo Yiannopoulos was running Kanye's long-anticipated presidential campaign behind the scenes alongside infamous groyper Nick Fuentes. While this never seemed to really go anywhere after, it is noteworthy due to the fact that Kanye and his campaign team had been invited to Trump's home at Mar-a-Lago, resulting in many mainstream news outlets bashing the former president for hosting a Holocaust denier at his personal retreat. To Trump's credit, he would soon make a statement denouncing Fuentes, claiming he had not even known what his views were before they met. In late November, political commentator Tim Pool invited Kanye onto his show to discuss his controversial statements, with Nick Fuentes and Milo also being present. Eventually, as Tim Pool began to question Kanye about his remarks about Jewish people, the conversation escalated and resulted in the rapper walking off the show entirely.
Are you leaving? Are you afraid of the press? He's gone.
This was yet another addition to a long list of interview clips that would make their rounds online, but none of them could have prepared the public for what he would say next. Things would truly jump the shark in early December when Kanye appeared on Alex Jones's talk show InfoWars to give an interview regarding the backlash he had been receiving. If Ye's outfit wasn't bizarre enough, the things he said certainly were.
I see good things about Hitler also. The Jew, I love everyone. I'm done with the classifications. Every human being has something of value that they brought to the table, especially Hitler. Netanyahu, what do you have to say? What do you have to say to Alex Jones right now, Nick Fuentes and Ye? It was bad. It was bad for Trump to meet with Nick and Ye. Okay. I had no idea your voice was going to sound like that, Netanyahu.
This seemed to be the final nail in the coffin for Kanye. He was being condemned by virtually every person in the entire world, being dropped from his own profitable business ventures, and was obviously not dealing with the pressure very well. He would also tweet a strange symbol that appeared to be a swastika merged with the Star of David, and his Twitter account was once again suspended soon after. It was clear to anyone watching that Kanye's contrarian nature combined with his untreated mental illness was leading to one of the biggest media circuses of the 21st century. Many began to speculate why he was suspended from Twitter despite its supposed free speech stance since the Tesla owner's buyout. Some speculated it was because he posted a photo of Elon Musk, which had been circulating as a meme for weeks due to the CEO's lackluster physique. Elon himself denied this, stating it was actually due to Kanye inciting violence, but some still believe to this day that the ban was due to the rapper's mocking of the billionaire. On the next stop of this crazy train, it was revealed that Milo Yiannopoulos had been fired from the Kanye presidential campaign, possibly due to old clips resurfacing of Milo accusing Kanye of secretly being a homosexual. Regardless, it was a definitive turning point, and soon after the rapper would take a long hiatus, with him staying quiet over the next few months. This was a common trend for Kanye to make a big scene, before dipping out of the limelight until the next round of shenanigans. From here it was a Where's Waldo of Kanye sightings for months, as he seemed to just start appearing with his new wife Bianca at random. One notable shenanigan includes an incident where he appeared to have sexual acts performed on him in broad daylight on the waters outside Venice. This was followed by the Italian boating company banning the couple. Later on in March of 2023, it seemed that Mr. West's anti-Semitism had been cured after he made an Instagram post stating, "Watching Jonah Hill in 21 Jump Street made me like Jewish people again." While not exactly an apology or an admittance of wrongdoing by any means, it did seem that at the time Kanye's war on the Jewish people was finally over. And I have to wonder if he always thought that this was just some Kaufman-esque stunt where he would be cured by Jonah Hill at the end. Kanye officially returned to the public eye after performing on stage with his friend and collaborator Travis Scott, revealing Kanye played a significant role in creating his new album, Utopia. Considering Travis was also still dealing with the fallout of his own from 10 people dying at one of his concerts, this was quite the pairing. While his actions and comments had generated significant controversy and backlash, now it seemed that his fans were willing to look past it all, with many theorizing that West had to be working on his own projects behind the scenes. This was confirmed when it was announced that he would be releasing a collab album with fellow rapper Ty Dolla $ign, with many prominent rappers featured on the project. This in and of itself caused some controversy due to a line off the lead single from the album, in which he questions, "How could I be anti-Semitic? I just effed a Jewish bee." Many noticed that the album cover was suspiciously similar to one from Burzum. This generated some controversy due to the man behind the Burzum project had long been known to have ties to the neo-Nazi black metal movement. During a recent listening party, he also donned a KKK-style black hood, drawing significant backlash from critics, though the hood itself is reminiscent of the 2013 song Black Skinhead. Even the album's release itself has been controversial. Despite promising the project would be on streaming platforms on December 15th, loyal fans were disappointed to learn that it was nowhere to be found. You see, one of the projects announced on the track list was New Body, which featured verses from popular rapper Nicki Minaj. The song had initially leaked online years prior after Kanye failed to release his highly anticipated Yandhi album, and it now seemed that Ye wanted to release it on his new project. Unfortunately for him, Nicki Minaj herself has refused to give clearance for the track to be released on the album, delaying its release until December 31st. Kanye would post a screenshot of him texting his fellow rapper on Twitter, asking if she was willing to talk about clearing her lines. She soon responded to this request on Instagram Live, explaining why she refused to clear the song.
No disrespect in any way. I just put out a brand new album. Well, why would I put out a song that has been out for 3 years?
Kanye himself would also be recorded live soon after, going on yet another anti-Semitic rant, with it being incredibly obvious he was having yet another mental breakdown.
No, none of y'all motherfuckers here with no Instagram, nobody living, nobody at, and I don't want to hear shit from none of these Jewish niggas talk about, oh, he's in an episode.
Everyone else in the room seemed to be actively egging him on the entire time, almost enjoying the rapper's insane ramblings, showing the dangers of surrounding yourself with yes men when having an untreated mental illness. Whether the album will be released is another question altogether, but considering the fact it's a collaboration between numerous high-profile artists, it's hard to believe the entire thing would be scrapped. Despite everything, Kanye continues to have a significant amount of pull and influence. He has also recently announced the creation of a strange website called use.news, which seems to be a compilation of numerous random stories from across the internet. In addition to this, he has now begun selling merch online once again, with a pair of strange sock-shoe hybrids selling for only $200. Despite no longer being a billionaire, it's clear with the new album drop, collaborations, and the ability to sell out arenas, as long as Ye doesn't break the law, he will have plenty of revenue streams available to him. And if he is able to calm down and fully apologize for his antics, he might be able to start making Yeezys again with someone and regain that billionaire status. Only time will tell what the madman will do next, and if his comments and actions in the future will result in any other meaningful consequences for his career. But considering all the crimes that rappers have committed in the past while still having a career, it's hard to think that he'll ever be fully cancelled. That being said, I unfortunately think the days of Kanye West making cohesive, masterful LPs are behind him, as he bounces on the walls so much that he can't focus in, leading to his last few projects feeling rushed by comparison. It really is tragic, but much like other geniuses before him that suffer from inner demons, while those issues might be able to elevate their art for a while, at the end it always catches up with them. I'd like to give one last thanks to Scentbird for sponsoring our video. Click the link down below to try it out for yourself.